How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Zwift race, and I am kind of excited about this one because the last few this is stage 4 of the Tour de Zwift, and it's 4th week of this these courses, and it's kind of the monthly like Z racing things, but at the beginning of the year they do like a special Tour de Zwift event, I guess, and tends to bring out a bunch of people, which is always exciting. And I try to do one a week. I've done the first 3 stages, and I've done okay. So if you haven't watched them, I'll link, I don't know, somewhere up in the upper right somewhere. And I've kind of been top 5, I think, in all of them. But really, kind of my downfall has been the finishes. I just haven't timed either the climbs or the sprints, so I've just made some mistakes, I guess, in the finish. So looking forward to this one. This is on the London 8 route. So I mean, just looking at the map, the mini map up there, basically you're seeing the same thing as me. Like, it is super flat up to Box Hill, and then do Box Hill, and then it is like downhill and super flat to the finish. So my strategy going in here was, really just try to stick with the front group into Box Hill, and then kind of hang on through the hill, and then try to out sprint people at the end. So that was my goal. And like you'll see, I'll speed it up here. The first part of the race, the first, 2/3 or so of the race, basically all the way up to Box Hill, was relatively quiet. I did a pretty good job of staying in the pack, I think. And you'll see there were a couple moves, I think, that I tried to just make sure that we were kind of in touch with everybody, and I think we did a pretty good job of that. So because we do start, it's sort of spoiler alert, we do start Box Hill all together in a bunch. So that's kind of what I was looking for. So what I tried to kind of do through the first flat section here is just keep a constant power. So do not a lot of surges, and try to stick in the pack and just do some constant efforts. And I think I do okay with that. You can see the power graph down in the bottom. Mainly zone 3-ish, which is okay. And there's a couple a little move here that I kind of just maintain touch with. And although I'm leading now, I'm not really pushing any sort of moves up before the hill, because I know that pretty much everybody's thinking the exact same thing as me. Like, they're just trying to keep everything together before the hill, and then sort of see what happens on the hill. So I do a pretty good job of doing a constant power, which I'm kind of working on. I've been working on for the last few weeks. I've mentioned it a couple times, so I think I do all right with that. So let's see. So going into the hill. So let's see. 59 riders today, and it's a bit different time for me. So normally I do these Friday morning, kind of before work on the East Coast, which is like like about 8. I do like the 8:10-ish East Coast race normally. This one is a little bit different because I was busy in the morning, but do this at like late lunch. I think it was like 1 something in the afternoon, and it is the like 270 to 390 category, if I remember right. 2 something to 390. I think 390 is the top. And I go into this race with a racing score of like 370 something, maybe 370-ish. So I'm kind of at the top of that range. And yeah, it's probably hopefully if I do well anyway, only a couple of weeks before I move up to the next bracket, which I think ends at 450. So it's really not a huge jump. But so I'm kind of expecting to do relatively well. The other thing about this course is, well, the Box Hill, I guess, is I know I've done it a couple of times, and I know that it is at an effort for me. It's like an 8 or 9-ish minute climb. So I know what sort of power-ish I can do for that period of time. And actually, I mean, as like luck would have it, the last few weeks, my threshold workouts have been 8-minute intervals. So I'm pretty comfortable with the 8-minute timeline, which is works to my advantage here, which is it's pretty good. So I know I want to do ish. I know sort of what power I want to do, but basically what I'm doing is not really looking at the power. I'm kind of looking at the riders around me. So I try to make a concerted effort, I would say, to watch the screen this week. Last few weeks, I've kind of been looking around at like random spots and haven't really been paying attention quite as much. So this time or this week, I really want to make that effort. So I do. And you can see, I mean, the field is already sort of blown apart. We're like, not single file, but you can see on the mini map up there that there are, plenty of people stretched out, even at the start of the climb. So it's, sort of blown apart as expected, I guess, for this sort of course. And it's really just kind of sort of pacing yourself, I guess, and trying to figure out who can get up this climb fastest. So I do have a feather power up that I'm saving. I got it a little earlier, so I have been saving that. And I think a couple points on this climb, there's some riders that seem to make a bit of a move, but for the most part, the front group kind of establishes itself, and then we kind of stay together. And you'll see there's a rider here in the orange Zwift jersey with the headphones on that's just passing me now, and he kind of marked him because he did some moves earlier in the flats before the race, and kind of marked him as somebody who might be a bit of a threat just because of the way he was riding earlier. So I really didn't want him to take off and get away. So I see him pass and get a little concerned, but I really am just trying to ride my own tempo up this ride or up this climb, and hopefully that my own tempo means that I am towards the front, because after the climb, like, it's a pretty sharp downhill before we get to the flats again, and it's really just kind of trying to recover the downhill anyway. And I think as a kind of a solo rider, if you like fall off the back, you're probably going to have a hard time trying to jump back into the pack just because they're going to be moving much faster. So I really wanted to try to be in this front group over the top of Box Hill. So and I think anyway I do a pretty good job of that, and we'll see coming up. So I do throw my power up here, getting towards the top, or maybe I was feeling a little tired, I don't know. Heart rate's mid 170s, which isn't it's not too bad actually for me, in the middle or towards the end of a climb. Max is like mid 180s, so after a 6 or 7, 8 minute ish effort, that's mid 170s isn't bad. You can see the orange jersey here is he's strong. So he's definitely a strong rider, and he's definitely one that I've marked. So I don't want him getting away. And the other thing about Box Hill, which is kind of a pain, is that you get to the top and then there's like a flat, and then all of a sudden there's like this like sharp little kicker right before the end. If you go up this way anyway. If you go up the other way, it's the reverse, obviously. But that like sharp little kicker before the downhill. So I know that people might be, if they're feeling good after this climb, they might be inclined to go ahead and push that little kicker and try to get a little bit of a gap before the downhill. But hopefully I'm there. Hopefully I'm feeling good. So we will find out. So far, feeling okay. So still mid 170s. And getting to the top here, and I'm still in this front group, so I'm feeling really good about this. The group, I think, we're down to like 10 or 12, or maybe a little less than that actually. Riders in this front group, so sort of top 10 is looking pretty good. But of course, I would really like to get a podium this week. It seems like the last few weeks I have just missed it based on my own, based on bad decisions, really, not necessarily my riding, but I've been riding pretty good, I think, or reasonably, I think. My average watts and average watts per kilo has been steadily ticking up and steadily getting back to where I was last year, which is what I want to see, really, especially during the off season. Sort of steady improvements are, sort of the name of the game. All right, up at the top of the hill, and I am in this group here, and like I said, there's 8 or 10 ish riders here with sort of a 15 to 20 second gap. There's a couple of stragglers, but basically 20-second gap before the next big group. So pretty confident that we will be able to stay away, really, just because it's only 3 miles before the finish, and kind of a whole mile of that is basically downhill. So nobody's making any moves, really. Oh, and I forgot about this. So I do get a feather power up there. So I throw it before this little kicker, and try to do a little bit of a sag climb there. So I took the lead, and then kind of let people pass me right before. And you see orange jersey again kind of makes a move there up the hill, and I am watching that. I am not feeling like I can chase that down, but I also am thinking that because of this downhill and this little group, that we can probably bring him back with much less effort than if I tried to bridge that gap. So I do, I guess, well, I was going to say make the decision, but the decision was probably made because it was probably not not strong enough to go ahead and bridge the gap right there. So all right, so we'll speed it up again because coming into the finish, it's really just staying in this little bunch, and you'll see orange jersey up there does hang off the front for a little while, but he does get brought back, and he's still making moves, so he's definitely a rider to watch. So I have that in my mind before we head into the finish. And a couple things about the finish to this course, and I think with some of the other London routes as well, is although it's pretty much flat, there is like that subway ramp at the end of this subway, or what do you call it? The tube ramp. I call it the subway. but the subway ramp at the end, and it's really nothing to kind of note about when you look at the map, but it's definitely something that you have to keep in mind because it is a bit of an effort. So obviously you're already tired from Box Hill. You've tried to recover a bit. You're trying to recover for the finish, but like this is like a 8 to 10 second just like push. So you really do have to push it up here. So you see, I'm 450, 500 watts to make sure that nobody gets away there. And for me, I mean, that's significant. But it is only like a really short period of time. You see me, kind of texting out that like I really don't like that little hill. I think everybody else is dying enough too because nobody responds to me. But after that, you get it's less than a mile left, so just a couple minutes left in the race. So you really have to think about that because if you are feeling strong, you probably could make a little move there and try to stay away. So, all right. So you see, I am kind of front of this little pack, and I'm really watching the screen. I don't think my eyes change very much, and I'm looking up and at the distance remaining instead of looking at any kind of profile or anything like that. You see orange jerseys right there. Obviously, I am marking him very closely, and so my typical strategy is to like kind of sprint or go at like 0.2 of a mile on the distance to go at the top. But today I really just stared at the other riders because I've kind of been bitten in the past. Either that was not far enough or like it was too far away. So today what I'm going to try to do is just sort of stay towards the front and then try to just follow maybe not the first guy that goes, but maybe the second. So we're already ramping up power here. We got about 0.3 left. You see orange jersey, like he's in the front, like he's ready. He's not quite kicking yet, but he's like pretty much ready to go. So we'll see who goes first through this little section. All right, so you see this guy go, and I try to just jump on their wheels. I'm not like full out sprinting at first, but then I do try to kick it about there. I see orange jersey here, and I'm like really, really close to catching him, and it just gives me that little extra boost, and there we go. So I do end up winning, post up and everything. I actually have the ceiling is right above me, so really I'm just holding on to the rafters of the ceiling. But so I do get the win. You see I average about 3.4 watts per kilo, so that's a little bit more than the last few weeks. So feeling good with that. My racing score jumps up from like 360 something ish. It jumps up by like 10 or 11, so I get that like podium bonus. So it's like I think it's 389 now, so I can maybe do this category one more time. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. So first win of the year, first win of 2026. I am excited. Thank you for watching, and we'll hopefully have a couple more stages of the Tour de Zwift in the next couple of weeks. So thanks.